Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Wednesday, the 30th of July 2025. In today's Millwall news, we start off with this. It's from the southernnews.co.uk. They're published tomorrow. Pick up a copy when you see it in the shops. Millwall offered Tanganga a new deal. Yes. So Millwall have offered Tanganga a new contract. Lions Director of Football Steve Gallen confirmed in a fans forum on Monday, July the 28th. More on that in a minute. Tanganga has become a vital part of Millwall's squad after an outstanding first full season at the club, making 40 league starts and being named the club's Player of the Season. The defender signed with the Lions as a free agent last summer following a half-season loan at the Den, and Gallen confirmed that a release clause was included in the contract, which was not the club's preference. He also confirmed that there was interest from other clubs, although no Premier League team had bid for him yet. There were concerns that Tanganga would leave the club 6 weeks ago, and the club respect his Premier League ambitions and do not want to block them. However, the defender is still with the club, and Gallen said he is happy amongst the squad. The club are encouraging him to stay. However, if he does go, they have plans to cover his departure. Tanganga first joined Millwall on loan in January 2024 before signing a permanent deal that summer after being released by Tottenham Hotspur. Tanganga has made 61 appearances for the Lions so far. Tanganga came through Spurs Academy and made his debut for the first team in September 2019 in the EFL Cup before making his Premier League debut against Liverpool in January 2020. The defender went on to make 50 appearances for Tottenham. He joined Bundesliga side Augsburg on a season-long loan with an option to buy in September 2023, but was only named to one matchday squad and returned to Tottenham that January before joining Millwall. Lions boss Alex Neil also revealed the club were keen to keep striker Mihajlo Ivanovic, who they view as a key player and vital to their plans. Here. We got some notes from the fans forum. I'm going to show you them in a minute. And the Southern News has written up a couple of stories from those notes. And this is the first one, and this is the second one that from southernnews.co.uk, that Mill offered former goalkeeper a 2-year deal, Alex Neil reveals. Yes, Liam Roberts was offered a 2-year deal. However, obviously he didn't take it because he's not here, he left. So Mill offered former goalkeeper Liam Roberts a 2-year contract this summer, Alex Neil said in fans forum on Monday, July the 28th. Roberts signed with the Lions ahead of the 24-25 season and deputised for Lucas Jensen, making 2 league appearances when the Dane was out injured and starting 4 cup games. The club attempted to retain Roberts on a 2-year deal with the Shotstopper's existing contract due to expire at the end of June. Mill said Roberts asked if he would be guaranteed the number 1 spot next season with Jensen out injured for an indefinite period of time, but the club could not guarantee him that. And because of that, Roberts opted to leave due to not being guaranteed regular football and wanting to move closer to his home in Midlands, or either or, like pick one or pick two. Obviously, +1, they are both advantageous to you, but if you would have got regular football but it wasn't in the Midlands, would you have gone? And signed with League One side Mansfield Town. Neil confirmed Roberts' red card in Mill's FA Cup third round tie with Crystal Palace, and subsequent media coverage did not influence his decision. Yeah, it was business. It's business, bruv. It's business. That's it. This is it. It's just business, brother. That's it. Mill signed 2 goalkeepers this summer, Max Krocom and Stephen Bender. Please don't laugh at the back of the class. No laughing. On loan from Fulham, who Neil said will provide cover and competition at the position. So, yes. So, we got these write-ups from what we have here. And that is, well, before we get to the notes, this is the story that the club put up. millfc.co.uk. Mill fans forum minutes published. Mill hosted its fan forum at the Den on Monday, 28th of July, with over 100 supporters in attendance, and apparently only one bar made. So that was a fun old time, trying to get a drink On the panel for the first half of the evening were Lions head coach Alex Neil, Director of Football Steve Gallen, and Managing Director Mark Fairbrother, who answered a wide range of questions on both on and off the pitch matters, including the transfer market, current player contracts, and more. After the break, Chief Commercial Officer Luke Wilson, Director of Communications Max McClellan, and Subaltern Liaison Officer Alex Russell joined Mark Fairbrother on the panel to answer questions regarding the recent hospitality renovations, latest updates on the Fans Advisory Board, and more. Supporters can read a summary of the minutes recorded during the first panel with Alex Neil and Steve Gallen and Mark Fairbrother below. Are we going to get notes for the second one, or is that not happening? I don't know. We don't know, but this is pretty good. I like this. It's impressive. We've got 8 pages of notes, so get ready for this. If this is good. I like it. Again, I don't know why they don't record. Like, if they recorded it and they could put out what they wanted to put out in video form, but I think they want plausible deniability. But when they put out notes, like, it shows what was said. So I don't know if that's I don't know what the reasoning is why they don't record it. Probably privacy concerns with the people attending. But you can tell them, look, we're going to record it. If you don't like it, lump it. Don't come. I don't know. Would it encourage more people to come, less people to come? Maybe you people will turn up and they'll try and they'll try and get their 5 minutes of fame and ask stupid questions and try and get noticed and do that kind of thing. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know why they don't film it, but it is what it is. It's their meeting. They can film it if they want. If they can not film it if they don't want to film. No skin off my nose. So. These are the notes. Panel 1 is Alex Neil, AN, and Mark Fairbrother, MF, and Stevie Gallen, SG. So, transfers, incoming and outgoings. So, obviously, they don't say what the question was that was asked, but people have been asking questions and then they've been giving their responses. Alfie Doherty, Alex Neil, said he's highly valued by the team. Primarily plays on the left, but is versatile enough to play on the right. Provides short-term cover due to injuries, which is Joe and Zach. Long-term, looking to use Alfie in more advanced roles. Now, one thing to note: this meeting was on Monday, so obviously they knew it was coming in. They were just waiting to announce it. They announced it like 8:00, but this was before he played against Sutton. Regarding Mihailo Ivanovic, Alex Neil said he's a key player. He shows excellent form in pre-season and looks to have stepped it up a level. Yes, certainly, I agree with that. The club wants to keep him. He's vital to the plans. While every player has a price, the club is not actively looking to sell and lose any key players. And then Stevie Gallen confirms Mihailo was homesick in the first few months at the club. Would explain, he's probably poor form. It's not that he was shit. He was homesick. Especially, I don't think there is a large Serbian diaspora in London. There probably is somewhere. There's probably a Serbian Orthodox church somewhere, I would imagine. But it's not as large as a place like Poland. There's Polish people everywhere in London. Even Hungarians and other people like that. So. Because I think Serbia is not in the EU, is it? So I don't know how that's changed with regards to work permits. I guess I don't know. Jafet Tanganga. So this is Steve Gallen, SG. Jafet is a key, highly valued player, secured on a permanent contract last summer after much effort. A release clause was included, but not as a result of the club's preference. Well, no shit, because it's about £1 million, so. That's fucking nothing. 24-25 player and players player of the season remains important to the team. The club is encouraging him to stay and consider a new contract amid interest from other clubs, although no Premier League bids yet. So it says interest from other clubs, no Premier League bids. Have there been bids from foreign teams? We hear things that there have been bids, but don't know about that. There were concerns 6 weeks ago, so this would have been, in the middle of June, that he would depart. However, Jafet is still with the club playing well and happy amongst the squad. The club respects his Premier League ambitions and does not want to block them. While hoping Japhet stays, the club has plans in place to cover his departure. The recruitment aims for quality replacements, not just temporary fills, but the club wants to retain all key players. So again, trying hard to retain him, but he could go up until the end of August. The window doesn't close until the 1st of September. And then, we have, 1 or 2 months where this all dies down. Then it will pick up again because, hey, ho, look, what's that in the future? It's the fucking January transfer window, and here we go again in December. Oh, Wolves are looking at him. Leeds are looking at him, especially if they're in the bottom fucking three, and they're shipping goals left, right, and centre. But hopefully, we'll be in the top 2 by then, so he might stay about that. So, closing the transfer window before the start of the season. Steve Gallen. Preference for the transfer window to close before the season starts, which aligns with many Championship League 1 and League 2 clubs. This year, the window shuts on September the 1st at 7 p.m, marking a tough and busy time for signing players. Signing players is challenging, but the club is becoming a more attractive destination, exemplified by Josh Coburn, who was hesitant to join a year ago, but was keen to sign permanently after a positive experience. Yeah, we were trying to sign him on a permanent deal. And then, that wasn't going to go. It didn't happen. I thought we were priced out of it. But, the amount of money we're spending since then, I don't think money was the problem. It seemed, and they say, he wasn't, he was hesitant to just sign. It's a big thing, moving from the northeast. He'd been up there all the time. He was was he at the other club? Was he at Sunderland? Then he went to Middlesbrough. He's been up there all his life, really. I think he has had other loans. But, it's a big thing. So he's come on loan. Fucking loves it. He loves it. You hear this all the time, We keep signing all these players. We get these players on loan and we keep signing them. So there must be something going on at the club that they like. So, yeah. And now, he's signed on permanently. The signing of Josh Coburn was well supported by Alex and the chairman, making it a good long-term acquisition. Signing a right-back, Alex Neil. There are several options for the right-back position, so it's not seen as a current priority. The club needs to allocate its budget to areas needing more immediate attention. Well, yeah, at the moment we've got Ryan Leonard, we've got Danny McNamara, we've got Wes Harding, Cramer can play there as well. So, there you go. Squad depth, Alex Neil. Midfield remains an area needing reinforcement after the departures of Ryan Wintle, George Honeyman and George Saville. If Japhet leaves, the club will need to strengthen there as well. Discussions are ongoing around potential replacements, though the hope remains that Japhet stays. Zach Sturge has been signed to bolster the left-back position. 2 new goalkeepers have also been brought in to provide cover and competition. Lucas' injury is considered a major blow. He was a standout performer last season with numerous match-winning saves. So interesting there. So they say cover and competition. So they are competing for the number 1 spot. They've been quite open about the Liam Roberts thing, saying, he's the number 1. He wanted to be number 1. They've been quite open about that. So I'd imagine, if Bender was coming in as the number 1, I would imagine they would be quite open about that. But they're saying it's for competition. Because it's quite clear, one of the goalkeepers has come from Fulham in the Premier League and has played in the Championship before, and the other one has worked his way up. He's coming up. This is the highest level he's been at. So you could be quite easily say, this guy's the number 1, this guy's the number 2. That would not be unfair to say Bender's number 1, Crockham's number 2, based on what we've got at the moment. In terms of the history that they've had, it wouldn't be beyond the realms of reasonability. Is that a word? I don't know. It is now, just made up. Update on the academy from Stevie Gallen. So Josh Stevenson, under 18s, left for Brentford last year despite significant efforts from the club to retain him, including multiple contract offers. So and meetings with his agent. So they offered him a contract. He said, yeah, nah. And then they came back with a better one, maybe another one as well. Multiple is more than 2 now. And he still left. So, it is what it is. What can you do? There have been other academy losses, including younger players who moved to Arsenal and Chelsea. No players have left the academy this year, which is seen as a significant improvement. This retention is attributed to the club creating a visible, credible pathway from the academy to the first team. Romain Esse's transfer to the Premier League has inspired belief in that pathway. Because they all want to play in the Premier League. Romain's gone to the Premier League. Jafet wants to go to the Premier League. The Premier League has the best players in the world. If you're a footballer, you want to be in that league with the best players in the world. Obviously, there's a fucking shit ton of money there as well, and you're going to get paid some of that. So, of course, you want that as well. Young players from the under-21s are now regularly training with the first team. This day-to-day integration is helping to build belief and connection between the academy and the senior squad. The club wants academy players to feel valued and part of the club's long-term future. Well, yeah, until they're like 24 and they can't. There's no value in them anymore. Announcing signings, Stevie Gallen. We've got first team versus development signings. Some players, Kramer, Connolly, Cundall, are signed specifically to impact the first team immediately. Bosch. Others, Benicio Baker, AJ Matthews and Zach Lovelace are long-term prospects. So all of you saying, play him, why he ain't playing, why ain't Kelly playing? They are long-term prospects. Internally, the club distinguishes between first team and development signings, but this isn't always made public. Balancing communication and development. So obviously, I assume this is still Stevie Gallen. It is important to give young players the experience and recognition of a signing without misleading fans about their immediate role. The club tries to balance giving them encouragement and visibility without setting unrealistic expectations. Announcing a young player as not a first team player publicly could hurt their motivation and image. Of course. Parental and fan perspective. From a parental point of view, equal treatment during signings matters even if the players are at different development stages. From a fan's perspective, their curiosity about when and how the new player will contribute. Some players are brought in to make an immediate impact while others are signed for long-term development. The club carefully manages how signings are communicated to support the players' growth while considering fan and family expectations. New investment. So obviously this was a thing over the summer. The Saudi guy, was that real? Was that nonsense? We don't know. This is Mark Fairbrother talking about that and other stuff. The club receives frequent inquiries from people interested in buying or investing, often with unrealistic expectations. I imagine you get a load of emails from Nigerian princes saying, we would love to invest in your team. Please send your sort code and bank account number. And we will send you £400 billion to buy your club. Some discussions are advisory, helping direct potential investors to other clubs that are actively for sale. So they want to know, how does the business work? Do you know these people at this other club? Can you put us in contact with them? That kind of shit. The club's stance on investment has already been publicly clarified, and outside speculation often serves other agendas. Yes. The guy wanted publicity, so you want publicity, you mention Millwall, and you get publicity. Focus remains on the club's own goals and stability. And Stevie Gallen praised the chairman as the most supportive he has worked with. Here. League competition. Alex Neil. Relegated Premier League teams have a financial advantage due to parachute payments and stronger squads. These clubs usually have higher wage budgets than most Championship teams. Promoted clubs like Birmingham and Wrexham are investing heavily, making this season unusually competitive. Some existing teams in the division appear weaker than last year, which may shift the competitive balance. The overall dynamic of the league will be interesting to watch as the transfer window progresses. And again, we don't know until the 1st of September how strong the teams are going to be. Some teams will maybe start off the first game of the season in 2 weeks' time, have an absolute nightmare, follow that up with another nightmare, and then might go out and panic buy and try to improve their team. So here we go. Already covered this via the Sutton News. Liam Roberts incident. Departing Millwall, Alex Neil. The club offered Liam a 2-year contract and did not want him to leave. Following Lucas's injury, Liam asked if he would be guaranteed the number 1 goalkeeping spot next season, which couldn't be guaranteed as it is dependent on future signings, and being truthful is important. Liam decided, therefore, to leave due to not being guaranteed regular football, and he also desired to return closer to his home in the Midlands. So again, if he was commuting, because obviously he's the number 2 goalkeeper, would you buy a flat down here? Would you rent a flat down here? You've only got a year's contract. You just got to suffer for the year, commuting up and down, driving, So maybe that's getting him to go on his fucking tits, and he didn't want to do that anymore. But if they give you a 2-year contract, you're going to be there for 2 years. Find a place to rent. It's not fucking rocket science, mate. His decision was not influenced by the incident in Crystal Palace, and he appreciated the support received from the club and the fans. And then regarding the Crystal Palace incident, Alex Neil said that. So I'm assuming that because it says he spoke to the CPFC chairman Steve Parish post-match and disagreed with his halftime interview and defended Liam. So that sounds like Alex Neil is saying that he did that, which is, man, this guy's just gone up another level in my appreciation. That's good stuff. He stressed the challenge was mistimed and accidental and not malicious, and he should know. He used to be a footballer. Once momentum was involved in the play, it couldn't be stopped, and Liam went for the ball, but unfortunately caught the opponent's face. Media backlash and club response. This is Mark Fairbrother. The club handled extensive negative media coverage behind the scenes, especially after the Liam Roberts incident. One media outlet ran up to 17 articles. Well, we know that's the Daily Mail. We know that is. Focusing on Liam, which the club considered excessive and harmful. The club banned this organisation, that confirms it was the Daily Mail, from future access and explored all legal options to defend the club. A number of other actions taken that, due to the nature, cannot be disclosed. Interesting. Did they send someone round to the guy's house, knock on the door and threaten to punch his lights out? I'm joking. The club stood firm on protecting its players and pushing back against unfair coverage. So there you go. Aspirations for the start of the season. Obviously, we're all pretty bullied up by what we've seen with all the signings. So what does Alex Neil say about that? The goal is to start the season well and pick up early points to avoid playing catch-up later in the campaign. The team finished last season strongly, and pre-season is vital for preparing the squad, building fitness and integrating new players. The club has already added players and plans to bring in more before the transfer window closes. We've got more players coming in. Player availability and transfer timings are unpredictable. Deals often depend on a domino effect as other clubs make moves. So yeah, they probably put calls in and say, look, rather than making bids, they say inquiries, and they say, look, we're interested. What happens if this guy, you want to sell him? We're interested in him. Is there any chance we could sign him? And they say, well, at the moment, not really. If we bring someone else in, there might be an opportunity for a deal, but we'll have to sign his replacement first. So stay tuned. The club feels well prepared heading into the season with clear goals and ongoing recruitment efforts. Keen on building momentum early. Yeah, get the team, obviously, even though the window closes on the 1st of September, if you wait until then, we've got, 3 or 4 games before then? That's like 12 points. You can't just ignore that. That's a big chunk of points. Loaning young players. I assume this is loaning young players out. And this is Alex Neil saying balancing development and opportunity. Young players are only loaned out if there's no realistic short-term first-team opportunity. If the first team lacks depth or a signing falls through, academy players may get promoted instead of being loaned. Not Ralph. His name isn't Ralph. It's Raphael. Ralph isn't short for Raphael, is it? His name is Raf, as in Raphael, but I think it's spelled with an F as well. I think. I'm not sure. I know he's a very good player. Lamptey and Sheldon Kendall have shown promise in pre-season but lack regular under-21 experience, so likely to stay and play in the under-21s but train with the first team. Alfie Massey has experienced a lot of under-21 football, and if he's not featuring for the first team, a loan move for senior football is likely. Again, obviously you can have youth loans, but I believe they have to be to non-league, so National League and below. If you want to get them to a team in the league, you have to loan them out, do a proper loan which needs to go through before the 1st of September. The loan strategy, again from Alex Neil. Most loans include a January break clause to recall players if they're not playing enough. So again, so it says there's a recall if they're not playing enough, which that is interesting because what was it I think we had some kind of injury problems. I'm not sure it was the last season or the season before. And Kamal Grant and Alex Mitchell playing quite well. And everyone's saying, well, why don't you bring them back? With the release, there's only a release clause if they're not playing. If they are playing and they're playing gangbusters, like, you can't call them back. It's not like, oh, we need him. Like, fuck you, we're bringing him back. No, you can only recall them. Apparently it says if they're not playing. So there's probably like a limit of how many minutes or how many games they can play in. And then if you don't meet that, then there's a recall clause. Decisions on loans depend on first team squad needs, player age, under 21 experience, and likelihood of first team minutes. It's often difficult to find loan opportunities for young players, especially in competitive leagues where managers prefer experienced players over 18 to 19-year-olds. Convincing lower league clubs to take the young prospect can be a challenge due to performance pressure. You often find, when our players go out on loan, they're going out on loan to teams that are basically desperate. Teams at the bottom of leagues, the bottom of the National League, was a Wealdstone, teams that are fighting, which isn't the best, but I guess it's good experience, fighting in a relegation scrap. But, that's even more pressure. What you would want is like a team in the middle of the table that's got fuck all to play for, Get them playing. Like, why aren't they taking the players? Like, you're not going to do anything. Like, you're not going to challenge, and you're probably good enough to not be involved in a relegation place. So why don't you take a player on loan? He might be really good and help you get promoted. Might help you get up into the playoffs. Otherwise you're just going to be in mid-table, and you're going to be in mid-table. So why not? Well, I guess because they don't want to spend the money, but if Millwall playing the wages, take the fucking deal. Players heading out on loan, Steve Gallen. He receives regular calls from clubs interested in loaning players. He prefers to keep the young talent training with the first team and praises Jack Howland for the experience he's gained training alongside senior pros like Jaffet, Coops and Lenny, and for his goal against Wimbledon. Emphasises the value of pre-season involvement before making loan decisions. Obviously, the last pre-season game is on Friday. You imagine the Monday, then we might get some decisions about loans going out. Confirms that some loans will happen, although no names can be shared yet. Well, yeah, no shit. Again, we got Joe Bryan, we got Zach Sturge, we got Hafi Doty as left backs, and we got Ben Drake. I would imagine Ben Drake's played for the under-21s most of last season. He played at left back. He also covered for a centre back at times when we were short. I mean, he was absolutely amazing against Northampton. Elche, he missed the Wimbledon game. Was on the bench against Bromley. I would imagine he's one of the main ones to go on loan. I would imagine so. Yeah. Contracts. Alex Neil. George Honeyman and George Saville were offered contracts that reflected the expected squad roles moving forward. Both were brilliant influences in the dressing room, but the club is focused on evolving the squad. Billy and Casper became the regular two when available in midfield. Casper has a contract extension option that the club can activate. Hooray! Jake Cooper has been made captain for his leadership skills and is highly valued. Discussions on his future are expected and likely to be constructive. So, we know he's the captain for the new season, and they're talking to him about extending his contract, which, is good because, he is literally going to be in the top 5 most appearances for Millwall. And that's just if he plays regularly this year. If he gets another year, he could be up into the top 3. So, obviously a lot of fans slate him, and he did make a mistake for one of the goals against Sutton, but he was playing on the right side of. He was on the wrong side of the pitch. He was in the right side of the box. He's normally on the left, so I think he's a bit confused. Poor thing, but fans slate him, but how many games has he played? How many different managers have picked him? He's not fucking chopped liver. All these decent managers have picked him. There's a reason for that, and if you can't figure out the reason, then just shh. Simpler contract talks happen earlier. Complex ones are delayed, avoiding distraction. So basically, hey, do you want a new contract or do you not want a new contract? You want to go? Okay, and then we'll talk about the contract. So, that kind of shit. Financial discussions are handled by Steve Gallen, club executives and agents. Well, yeah, of course. On signing a new contract, Alex Neil feels a cultural... Oh, this is him. His own contract. He signed a new contract. Feels a cultural and personal alignment with the club's working class roots. Despite the family being based up north, there is full commitment to the club and balances time between locations. That's a shame. Okay. It's a shame for him, It's hopefully it's not too stressful on him, all that kind of stuff behind the scenes. I imagine, has he got the flat in Canary Wharf? Hopefully he's not next to this asylum seeker hotel. Long-term goal is promotion to the Premier League, although without immediate pressure for this season. So there you go. So if not this season, not next season or 3 seasons, I don't know. Clear dedication to driving the club forward in the coming years. Yeah. So squad updates from Alex Neil. Joe Bryan and Zach Sturge. Where the fuck they been? Joe Bryan picked up a groin issue after the Crystal Palace game. A recent scan showed positive results. That was the first game behind closed doors, and Zach Sturge's return to training is expected to be integrated into match action soon. Adomio Maku, a unique talent with explosive pace, capable of beating multiple defenders and focused on helping him improve his end product. Longest spell without an injury since arriving at the club and played over 200 minutes in pre-season. He will start against Sutton United. Indeed, I believe, did he score 2 goals? Yeah, he scored 2 goals, so not bad, eh? Not bad, but that's a National League team, non-league team. Kevin Nisbet, by the way. Alex Neil. The club had been watching him closely and reviewing all of Aberdeen highlights clips, and Steve Gallen attended games in person. He's got a clean slate and the opportunity to prove himself this summer. He suffered an injury 2 weeks ago, which is why he hasn't featured in pre-season matches, but he's now back training on the grass. Young talent, and this is Stevie Gallen talking here. Zach Lovelace is a strong athletic forward, but has struggled with long-term injuries, hamstrings, knees. Yeah, sounds great. Currently undergoing a careful rebuild. desperate to play and has strong physical attributes. Benicio Baker, technically gifted, very skillful and a raw talent. AJ Matthews, just 18, signed from Middlesbrough, who were reluctant to let him go, seen as a long-term project with potential, but patience is required. The trio were low-cost signings with a long-term view. If even one makes it into the first team is sold on, it would be considered a success. The club has taken a low-risk, high-upside approach with these young players. Emphasis on patience and physical development, especially for those transitioning into senior football. Adapt into the... I think is this the last one? This is the last one. Don't panic. Are you still awake out there? Hello? Adapt into the league. Alex Neil. Young players can lack prior championship experience with a physical demanding league. Early on, players such as Casper had limited availability, but with time improved to full availability. Similarly, Jaffet struggled prior to joining Millwall, but increased his game time significantly after joining. Yeah, he had barely played for a season, didn't he? He was on loan to that German team that didn't play him for some reason. Players with previous higher level experience like Jaffet tend to adapt faster because their bodies are already conditioned. Younger players coming from lower levels need time to physically develop and adjust to the championship's intensity. The club is focused on carefully building their fitness and readiness to compete consistently. So yeah, day by day, wax on, wax off. You know, Karate Kid, you've seen that? You got to build it up. Got to build your skills up day by day. So yeah, that's that. Many thanks to the club for putting this together. Whoever had to put this together, thank you so much. I don't know if you're working on part 2, but if you are, good luck. So there you go. Now we've got some post-match comments from after the game, which was tomorrow. It seems like a long time ago. It was just tomorrow. Yesterday. It was just yesterday. This is from southernnews.co.uk. Millwall boss praises Macaulay Langstaff of the Sutton United hat-trick, says striker was a bit unfortunate to not score in earlier friendlies. Yes, indeed. Alex Neil praised Macaulay Langstaff after he scored a hat-trick in Millwall's 6-2 win over Sutton United in the pre-season friendly last night, and suggested the striker had been unfortunate not to score in previous pre-season fixtures. Langstaff opened the scoring for the Lions with a swept finish in the 13th minute before doubling Mill's lead with a swivelling volley following a corner. He completed his hat-trick with another well-placed effort into the bottom corner after Adomo Maku forced a turnover high up the pitch. The 28-year-old had previously not scored in Mill's pre-season friendlies and had a goal ruled out for offside against Elche. Neil was pleased with his performance against the U's. I think he's deserved more goals across pre-season. I think he's been a bit unfortunate, maybe a lack of composure in just a couple of moments, or at times maybe not selecting a late finish. But I thought tonight, he's got the goals that he's deserved, and that was really pleasing for him. It was really, really pleasing for him, by the way. So, did you seen it? Have you seen it? If you haven't seen it, you can see it by the grace of Sutton United FC TV on YouTube, their YouTube channel, the official YouTube channel of Sutton United, have put up the highlights, 9 minutes worth of highlights. Obviously, they've got 8 goals to cover. High quality, high definition, very good. No commentator, just a lot of clapping. So yeah, I highly recommend you check that out. It's on YouTube, the YouTube Sutton United FC TV, and this is the channel. The post section on my channel. If you want to just find it there, go through, click on the link. Now, the mists are clearing and we have some more confirmation as to what the fuck is happening with the under-21 division next year. Heard one thing, covered yesterday, maybe it's not happening, it's a different thing. BrentfordFC.com have confirmed that it is changing. There are changes, and they play in the same league as us, so the changes are affecting us. Brentford Academy Professional Development League fixtures confirmed. Okay. We don't care about that. So here we go. The under-21s is split into North and South groups, with teams playing other clubs in their regionalised group twice, and a further 10 out-of-group games. So you play your own teams in your own division, home and away, and you play a team in the other division, either or home or away, not both, just once. And here we go. We get the fucking confirmation finally about what the fuck is going on. In an alteration from last season's under-21 format and many seasons before that, it's been going on for quite some time. This 25-26 campaign will see the top 8 clubs go into a round of 16 against the bottom 8 sides of the Premier League 2. The teams will then contest in quarterfinals and semi-finals before the final on the 16th of May. So the final is the 16th of May. That suggests that the final is going to be at a neutral venue. I don't know about that, but why would it have to be fixed on a certain venue? I don't know. But it says the under 18 format will remain the same, with the 2 highest sides in North and South groups facing the team who finished second in the opposite group in the playoff semi-finals. So the under 18s is the exact same time. But they say, again, the PDL final, the under 18 PDL final, will take place on the 16th of May. That's interesting. Both finals on the same day. Are they going to do like the non-league do the FA Trophy and the FA Vase, where you're going to have both games in the same stadium on the same day? I don't think you're going to get a lot of fans for that. I don't know where you're going to host it. Again, even like if it's a neutral venue, like making Millwall fans travel to the Midlands and then a northern team travel to the Midlands to watch the game, what's the point? That's you. Then you're going to get less fans from each team travelling. You'd rather just have the home team hosting it. Then they'll get all their fans in, and there'll be a little bit of fans from the other team. Doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. And we get that confirmed in the fixtures as we go down. Obviously, these are Brentford's fixtures. Look, you can see here, look. So the reason why the division finishes on the 14th of April, because the next couple of weeks, playoff round of 16, playoff quarter-final, playoff semi-final, playoff final. So, but, again, I don't know if they got this right either, because this doesn't make sense to me. To some extent. Where is it? Right. And again, Mill's division is 10 teams. The top 8 teams go through. So, is it seeded? Because what would be the fucking point of trying to win your league? You just have to finish 8th. You're going through. Unless it's seeded and you need to finish as high as possible. I don't know. We don't know. Is anybody going to tell us? Who knows? The thing they say, so the Premier League 2, so I mentioned this before in several videos. Premier League 2 is a division above Category 1 teams, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Man United, all that shit. They've decided to do just one big league, which is about 28 teams, because they've got other teams from outside the Premier League playing in it. They're going to do top 16 in their division, go through to a knockout competition. But they then have positions 17 to 24 is the next 8. It says here the bottom 8. Why would you play against the bottom 8 sides in the Premier League 2? Because they're fucking losers. And they would have an advantage over the teams that finish higher in the league, 17 to 24. So I think maybe what they mean is the teams that finish underneath the top 16 in Premier League 2, so 17 to 24. Because why would you reward losers? Like the team that finishes 30th in the Premier League 2. Why would they get into the playoffs ahead of the team that finished 17th? Don't make no sense. Don't make no sense at all. You're rewarding being a failure. So again, not sure this is 100% accurate, but the knockout thing is coming. And again, maybe it's the bottom 8 because, that will make it easier on the teams below, because obviously these teams they're Category 1 teams. You would imagine they're better. But again, this is Why do we have to play this? Not the same level. We're Category 2, they're Category 1. Why is the winner of our division have to go through this thing to play against Category 1 teams to try and win our own fucking division, competition, whatever you call it? That's fucking stupid. Like I said before, it's like having the playoffs to go into the Premier League instead of just being the 4 teams that finish in the Championship from the 3rd to the 6th, to include the teams from League 1 and the teams from League 2 and have just one giant playoff. It's fucking stupid. These teams aren't on the same level, so... But we finally have confirmation from Brentford that this is actually happening. There is going to be a knockout round, and it looks like we will be playing teams above us to try and win our own competition, which is just bizarre, but it is what it is. Now, it's fair to say that Millwall's under-21s have had a troubled pre-season. As previously mentioned in the notes, the best under-21 players, they play for the under-21s, but they train with the first team. So, what that means is, at the moment, trying to play friendly games for the under-21s not going well, because most of the players are off playing for the first team. They're playing in the friendlies because there's no restriction on how many players you can play. We wait to see. Now, something is missing. Do you know what it is yet? There was a friendly listed between Millwall under-21s and Welling at Welling to take place on Friday the 1st of August, so this Friday, in 2 days' time. That was there. It's been there for a while. It was there yesterday. It's now been removed. Now, maybe this is just a mistake, or maybe they've decided to pull the plug on the fixture. I don't know. Now, this has been a troubled pre-season with the under-21s, as mentioned. They had a game against Luton under-21s set up for hitching. There was torrential rain 2 days before that game was due to take place, so they decided to postpone it and move it behind closed doors to Calmet Road. They then went to Maidstone and ended up losing 4-0. They played so many trialists that they didn't even bother to give out a team sheet. They didn't give out a team sheet at the ground or even announce the teams online. Apparently, the only players that played were Kamal Grant, Celestine Charles and Jacob Przewozny, although that hasn't been confirmed. I have seen Jacob Przewozny in pictures at the ground, taking pictures of fans. So, and they lost 4-0. They had apparently not the best of times. So, I would imagine with Alex Neil putting together his team for the weekend against Estoril, he's decided whether they're going to use a proper 9 substitute, which is the thing for the league, or whether they're going to just try and stick to the same rules ahead of the league in 2 weeks' time. If he's listing under 21 players, and a lot of them, for the first team on Saturday, that restricts how many are available for the under 21s on Friday. So they may have decided that already, the squad to go for the Estoril game, which may mean that the under 21s can't put out a team on Friday because they don't have enough players. Because obviously you're asking trialists to play in a game, maybe they're not available. They were available for the Maidstone game, maybe they're not available now. Maybe we've decided, look, we played this guy in a trial, we're not really going to play him, we're not really going to sign him, there's no point stringing him along. Just best to let them know. Which will again mean they don't have any, they don't have enough players to put out a team on Friday against Welling. Obviously, bit poor form to cancel the fixture 24 hours before the game's due to take place. Yeah. Although, Welling lost 10-0 to Leyton Orient, so, I don't think they're that insanely good that they would smash just a team put together. But I'm trying to get this confirmed, and all I can see is that Welling is still advertising the game. They advertising it this morning. See, I don't think there's any ticket sales in advance. You just turn up on the day, so I don't think that's going to be a problem in terms of cancelling the match. But maybe they're going to move it till next week. I don't know. Obviously, but it was here. It's not here anymore. Are we going to get an announcement tomorrow morning saying, look, the game's postponed? Maybe Welling are trying to sort out a replacement game at short notice behind the scenes, and then they're going to announce the same thing at the same time, saying that, the game on Friday is not going to be Millwall, it's going to be, Sevenoaks Town or someone else, I don't know. But, yeah, very, very weird thing happening there. I'm going to finish the video. Finally, I hear you say, yes, I know, it's been going on so long, I can't stand the sound of my own voice now. We got an update. We're going to have a little look at the transfer done deals from bbc.co.uk. And this is today, the ones today. We got, regarding the Championship, we got Nathan Asimwe has left Charlton and gone to AFC Wimbledon on loan. We got Antoine Hackford has left Sheffield United and gone to AFC Wimbledon on a free transfer. So AFC Wimbledon bolstering their ranks after their, I thought they were quite very poor against us when we played them. Nathan Lowe has gone, left Stoke and gone to Stockport on loan. Anything else there from the, no, okay. This is yesterday. We got Tom Barkhuizen has left Derby and gone to Barrow on a free. Asmir Begovic has signed for Leicester on a free from Everton. Who else we got? Akin Femiwo has left the sinking ship of Sheffield Wednesday. Say that 3 times in a row. And gone to Hull on a free transfer. Abdoulaye Kante has signed for Middlesbrough from Troyes in France. Jacobas Mazunis has left Ipswich and gone to Cheltenham on a loan. We got Joel Ndala. Joel Ndala has left Man City and gone to Hull on loan. So Hull signing a Man City player on loan. Nice. David Ozolea signed for Derby on loan from Crystal Palace. And as mentioned before, Joe Wright, for ex-Millwall goalkeeper, signed for Barnet. He played for them the other day. Again, he was there in pre-season. They just signed him then, so they literally waited until the last day, and then they signed him and played him later on that day in a game, just to save a week's wages. What the fuck? Jesus, that's how you treat people. I guess they were paying expenses, but still, fucking hell. Coventry, Louis Binks has gone from Coventry to Brøndby, undisclosed fee, and Antonio Tikvik has left Watford and gone to Brøndby Munster. So there you go. I think I mentioned these ones before. Did I mention these? Yeah, I did mention them. No, I didn't. But we'll mention them now. Oh, look at this. We'll start off with this one here. Radek Vitek. The goalkeeper that we were linked with. Yeah, we were linked with him. He's come to the Championship on loan. He's not gone to Austria, where it was. He's gone to Bristol City on loan. How delightful. Hopefully, Ivanovic scores a hat-trick past him. So let's look at other things regarding the Championship. Jan Bednarak has left Southampton and gone to Porto. Callum Patson's left Sheffield Wednesday and gone to MK Dons on a free transfer. Obviously allowed to walk out because they haven't paid the wages. Ben Lloyd has left Swansea and gone to Newport on loan. What else have we got? Gillingham has signed a player from Clitheroe. And his name is Lenny Carino. Wow. Okay. Mason Burstow has left Hull and gone to Bolton on loan. And obviously Alfie Doty signed for Millwall. There you go. That's all caught up. And on that note, thank you for watching if you're still here. And goodbye.